kind of tough when you are for a parent, not to or a husband or a wife or have a lover or a child, to say, I understand putting the Lord, the way you see it, first in your life, but, how do you not put your children up there also, I mean, I don't know.
Tough situation.
It's a tough choice. I could understand, and when he says that, it's a narrow road and very few can actually follow. It's very strict, and
well, his beliefs, but he also has no trust in I guess the Catholic religion. He feels that the Pope is going to go to hell with everybody else that don't believe with.
Well, I'll tell you, if you study some of the popes in past history, some of them bought their title. I mean, they weren't very religious people. So now, obviously, I'm referring to hundreds of years ago. Okay. Many hundreds of years ago. All right. I certainly don't think I would say that about popes of a modern era. But it used to be popes were also married and had families.
Well, I still don't see, that's why they can't pope. Well, maybe I don't know about a pope, or why a priest or cannot get married.
Well, they claim it was Paul. Now, Lisa will tell you, and Paul had a family, but they claim that Jesus did not have a family. His family were his disciples, and his flock were his people. Okay, and he was preaching to the multitudes, those that would listen. And, I mean, don't forget, Paul also was not a disciple. Paul came, I would say, about 10 years or so after Jesus was put to the cross, when he came around, Paul was on the road to Damascus when he was blinded, and he saw Christ, and Christ said, "Why are you persecuting me?" And, and then he was, he was able to see,
Anyway.
Well, I think we're just about wrapping it up. Elise is quiet. I'm quiet. You're quiet.
Oh, so, yeah.
I don't know if you want to put...
I'm just absorbing everything, but I'm also feeling kind of queasy.
Kind of what?
Queasy.
Did you get a shot this week?
Yes, I did.
Well, you could be feeling the after effects then. When did you get it?
On Wednesday.
All right, that'll do it. It's only Friday.
It could be that, and could be I had Chinese food for dinner, and
that would do it every time.
I mean, don't listen to the doctor. Just do what you want and eat what you want. But I had a craving for Chinese food. Samantha had a craving for Chinese food, so I was like, "What the hell?"
Well, you know why, Elisa, that's the Jewish part of you.
Yeah, it's Friday. It's the Jewish part of me.
Exactly. Well, with us, it was Sundays in my wife's house, where Sundays was Chinese food day. Sunday afternoon.
Jewish people on Christmas Day, if they didn't have friends who celebrated Christmas and they were spending the time with them, they would go to the movies and then go to a Chinese restaurant.
I remember growing up Saturday night, we had Chinese food in my house. I think we'd go to my grandmother's house and have Chinese food there. I know Saturday mornings we'd be there and have bagels and lox. And then at night we had Chinese food.
Actually, the bagels and lox more of a Sunday thing, I think. But anyway,
Well, in my grandmother's house, it was all weekend. We had it Saturday and Sunday, but usually Saturday we'd have it. And I remember even further back when my great-grandmother was still alive, she would come to my grandmother's house Friday night. We'd have Shabbos dinner because my great-grandmother, she was fairly kosher and, she observed. I mean, she would light the candles Friday night. And so we'd have a traditional Shabbat dinner. And then, Saturday morning, wake up, go to her house, and have breakfast. And I think my great-grandmother would stay over the weekend there. And then, have dinner Saturday night, and then Sunday morning go back and have breakfast again. And at some point, my great-grandmother somebody would take her home Sunday. I mean, we all lived close by. My grandparents and I, we lived 2 buildings down from each other, and my great-grandmother lived a couple of blocks away.
Yeah, well, in the old days, that's what happened. I mean, everybody lived within walking distance.
Okay, ladies
exactly.
For the most part.
I still remember my great-grandmother walking from her house to our house. And she was in her early 80s. Because when she died, I think she was 82, I think, when she died.
Which is really not that old when you think about it. Well, I got to tell you,
7 years old. Compare that to a 7-year-old. You'd say that's old.
Oh no, of course. But we were saying, how Jewish people like to eat Chinese food. Chinese people like to eat at Katz's Deli or the Second Avenue Deli, or when Ratner's was still open, they would eat at Ratner's.
Listen, everybody likes to eat everywhere. I mean, there's nothing to do with anything.
No, I know. I'm just joking.
I know. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, and Elisa, I want you guys to write down a website that I'm going to give you.
Is that what you sent me? That's not what you sent me.
I hope it is.
That doesn't look like that.
People changed the name of it, but the website is called Church of Christ, but the website is church-of-christ.org. And it talks, I think, a lot of the stuff that what Chad is involved in, and they have a resource section which is quite interesting. There's a Bible study there. There's Christian music publications, but the Bible study part it looks pretty good. You have courses on the New Testament. You have Bible studies online. It's quite an interesting site, and explains a lot about all these independent churches who actually I would think they're born again. Mark, look.
Okay.
You see what that is, right?
Yeah, well, baptism.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Baptism, the way they call it, not like the Catholic Church with the.
It's a mikveh.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, the Catholic, we call it baptism.
No, do you know? But these, if you look at the site, you'll see them. They're dunking the people in the water, like deep water.
Well, that's what it's supposed to be.
You dump the whole body.
That's what it's supposed to be.
But that's not what the Catholic Church does.
What do you mean it's not what the Catholic Church does?
Catholic does.
They call it over the head.
They just dunk. When you baptize the child, they just drop a couple of drops.
Yeah, but that's a child. You're not going to submerge
but they don't
a child into water.
but they don't do it to adults.
I wasn't. Why? I wasn't submerged underwater. I had they poured the water over my head.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's just a different way of doing things. Not saying what's right or what's.
Do it that. The Greeks do it that way. They submerge you underwater.
Mm.
Or Greek Orthodox. That's how they do it.
I don't know.
Well, I think it's time to wrap it up and call it a day, call it a week, actually.
Yep.
And what a week it's been. So I would only ask that we pray for the memory and souls of those that were killed, and
for the recovery of
the survivors.
Survivors.
You know, I mean, this is something they have to live with for the rest of their lives, obviously, and try to come up with some sort of solution. I don't know. You hate to think. Oh, and the other statistic that they put up on the screen was that every 16 minutes another American is killed by a gun in America. Every 16 minutes. Can you imagine? That's like
it's a lot of people.
Little under 4 minutes. Four every hour.
Yeah, a lot of people dying from. Anyway.
All right, Elisa, be well.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you for waking me.
Oh, God.
Chad, thank you again for calling and having the decency to come on and say goodbye. We thank you for almost a year of interesting discussions and debates.
And you may have not converted us the way you'd like us to, but you definitely influenced our lives.
Well, you've opened our eyes, certainly, that's for sure.
Anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen.
Mark, before we hang up, any big plans for next week?
In what way?
October 7th is next week.
Oh. Actually, it's my... I forgot. It's actually my daughter-in-law's birthday as well. So I think the two families are... she picked out a restaurant someplace for sushi. So I think we're going to be going for sushi for dinner. Thank you for reminding me. I completely forgot. I didn't even give it a thought, really.
Well...
I guess at your age, you just don't think those things anymore.
Well, no. Hey, listen, anytime you can live to celebrate a birthday, that's a good thing. Let's be honest. And I'm not getting any younger, so I will, with God's grace, I will take every birthday that I can.
All righty. So, listen, thank you again.
Hopefully, we'll speak to you on Monday. We have no idea what we're talking about, but...
We never know what we're talking about.
It's actually MOS. More of the same. More of the same.
All righty.
Hopefully on Monday I'll have some good news.
Well, good.
Good, yeah.
We'd like to hear some good news from you.
You deserve it.
Thank you. I have some things brewing right now, and I don't want to get into it until I know for sure. So maybe Monday I'll have some good news.
Well, good for you. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
All right.
All right, Elisa. Be well.
Thank you. You guys too. I'm going to bed.
Okay.
Give us this day our daily bread. May all the world be clothed and fed.
Been a long time.
This day our daily
It's very
bread.
true. I haven't listened to it in a long time.
Be clothed and fed.
Hey, look, an hour and 45 minutes. Not bad.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Every day.
Every day.
What does God give us? Food and drink, yeah, that doesn't stink. Clothes and shoes, yeah, that's good news. Home and house, even for this mouse. Animals and money, yeah, bees and honey. What does God give us? Land and goods, up in the hood. Peace and health, take care of yourself. sun and snow makes the plants grow. Rest in love from God above. Woo! Yeah!